Many Americans are asking, why did the United States have to attack Iran now? Well, let me explain. Iran wants to have nuclear weapons. Of that, there is zero doubt. If what they truly wanted, which is what they claim, is nuclear energy, well, they could have nuclear energy like all the other countries in the world have it. And that is, you import the fuel and you build reactors above ground. That's not what Iran has done. They build their reactors and their facilities deep in mountains, away from the public glare. And they want to enrich that material. The same equipment that they could use to enrich material for energy, they could use to quickly enrich it to weapons grade. So it is clear that they've been offered every opportunity to have a nuclear program that allows them to have energy, not weapons, and every single time they have turned it down. But why the attack now? Well, what was Iran trying to do? Iran was trying to build a conventional shield, in essence, have so many missiles, have so many drones that no one could attack them, and they were well on their way. We were on the verge of an Iran that had so many missiles and so many drones that no one could do anything about their nuclear weapons program in the future. That was an intolerable risk. Under no circumstances can a country run by radical Shia clerics with an apocalyptic vision of the future ever possess nuclear weapons. And under no circumstances can they be allowed to hide and protect that program and their ambitions behind a shield of missiles and drones that no one can do anything about. This was our last best chance to eliminate that conventional threat, that conventional shield that they were trying to build, and the president made the right decision to wipe it out now. That is the goal of this operation, to destroy their conventional missiles and their drone program so they can't hide behind it and finally have to deal with the world seriously about never, ever having nuclear weapons.
And here we go. So now the objective is clear. Why USA is in war with Iran when we enter the 34th day of this war. So Trump is destroying the missile and drone shield, what protected the nuclear weapons program, what USA obliterated in the 12-day war. So it's not the regime change or fight for terrorism or stabilize the energy market. Yeah, stabilize the energy market. That is a good one. In Finland, here you can really feel it when you go and gas up your car nowadays, how stable the energy market is. And of course, now USA wanted help in that opening that Strait of Hormuz. They asked NATO to help. But of course, there's nothing like Article 5 initiated, so how NATO can help. And now they are angry at NATO because they didn't come to help without Article 5 and they are re-evaluating it.
Sean, I've been one of the strongest defenders of NATO during my time as a United States Senator because I found great value in it. And it wasn't just about defending Europe. I said it also allowed us to have military bases in Europe that allowed us to project power into different parts of the world when our national security was threatened. If now we have reached a point where the NATO alliance means that we can't use those bases, that in fact, that we can no longer use those bases to defend America's interests, then NATO is a one-way street. Then NATO is simply about us having troops in Europe to defend Europe. But when we need their help, not their help, we're not asking them to conduct airstrikes. When we need them to allow us to use their military bases, their answer is no. Then why are we in NATO? You have to ask that question. Why do we have billions and billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars, over the years, trillions of dollars, and all these American forces stationed in the region? If we can only use, in our time of need, we're not going to be allowed to use those bases. So I think there's no doubt, unfortunately, after this conflict is concluded, we are going to have to re-examine that relationship. We're going to have to re-examine the value of NATO and that alliance for our country. Ultimately, that's a decision for the president to make.
Estonia wanted to help NATO, but they don't know what Trump wants. What Trump wants. And then our president Stubb called both the presidents of Iran and USA. In his ex post, he posted that Iran should stop firing the neighboring countries and try to negotiate ceasefire or something. Maybe our president just forget who attacked who. And then in his post he just say that you should always have a dialogue. Even if you have disagreements about things, you should have a dialogue. I'm just wondering when we're gonna have a dialogue with our neighboring president. Because I think that would be in our national interests to talk to Putin, have some kind of a dialogue. But no. Or maybe call to Zelensky and say to him that don't send the drones anymore here. That would be a good idea also. Yeah. And of course about Ukraine, we have this Commander Sirski commented in Telegram that how good is the mobilization going in Ukraine, and he said that he would give 6 to 8 points out of 10 how good it's going, like how they treat people great and everything. Need to be careful with people and treat them good. Here is some examples of those good treatments, what we have seen in here. But our news don't bring them up here.
Stop! Stop! Me, I'm American. I'm American. Get out of here! Stop! Stop! Hey! Get out! Stop! Get out! Get out! No, dude, they're fucking hitting him. They're hitting him. Get out! Get out! Get
Папочка! Штулянь заводят с баллонами. Что вы делаете? Отпустите вы его, вас 10 человек в масках.
Пошли нахер! Ай-яй-яй!
Ужас, ужас. Что творится, звери?
And in the end, I want to thank you for watching this video and press the like button if you liked it. Subscribe. And see you next time. Peace out.